Welcome back. It's RC four-wheel drive time, and you are looking at the Trailfinder 3 Launch Edition. So we are about to jump into stage 2 of some modifications and scale details to this guy. So if you remember, in stage 1 we had a few busts, and one of those was the metal sliders I had picked up. They were a little too long and intrusive into the fender wells and kind of hindered the toolless body mount. So I wanted to pick up some metal Marlin sliders, and I have. So, and we also had a bust with the +3 weighted scale rotors for these SSD 1.55 wheels. They use a V2 hub, so those did not work. So those went back and ended up getting some aluminum V2 scale rotor hubs. And these are not weighted, same offset. With that, I picked up some kind of aluminum color center caps, same as these rears, but for use with these Rogue RC four-wheel drive wheels that it came with. And with that, I went ahead and picked up some other scale goodies to really kind of trick this out, era appropriate. I picked up the Rancho boots to go with the Rancho shocks that it comes with. And to round it out, I got the Rancho steering stabilizer for the front. And then I've really been digging these scale old school tie down hooks. So I figured maybe put those to use and get the scale old school TONNEAU cover for the bed. So those guys are going on there. And then you can see the wheels and tires that it came with in the bed. And I really like the rims, and the coloring goes perfect with the truck. They're really nice. The tires feel great. I just don't like them on the wheels. The wheels are a little shallow, tires are a little squared off. So I think I'm going to pull those off, put those on a wider, deeper dish rim here. So these are the deep dish wagon wheels. And then I've got some Crawler Innovation foams to hopefully kind of soften those up, similar to these IROKS NDs we put on in stage 1. And then, so no tires will be on these Rogue rims. So, of course, I had to pick up some tires to go on those. So these are Mickey Thompson BAJA ATZs. So these are about the biggest and widest 1.55s I could find that I thought would fit this, hopefully. So these are definitely wide. So I'm hoping with the extra width of these tires, that will kind of offset some of the shallowness of these Rogue wheels. So to pair with those, I got some Crawler Innovation foams as well. So I'll end up with 3 wheel tire options for this guy, and that's a lot, of course, but I do have another RC four-wheel drive 1/10 vehicle that I'm kind of prepping and getting build ideas for, so these tires can all, and rims can all roll into that build and be used on that truck as well. So good to have some options, and I always like having different wheels for different looks. But that's going to be pretty much the stage 2. Not a ton of stuff to do, but it's going to be some fun, cool scale stuff and some wheel tire options, and we'll see kind of what fits in these larger sizes. So I think it's time to jump right into this guy. All right, so I got one installed, and I just wanted to show real quick a comparison to the plastic ones it came with. So exactly the same length, mount the same way, just doesn't have the kick out, of course, and it's metal instead of plastic. So these are gonna work just perfectly, it looks like. I'll show a quick shot of the ones that I attempted from stage 1 to install and just how long those were compared to these. So if you're running bigger tires, you probably want to stick with something this length. A little bit of front end progress here. So we got some Rancho action. So we got this boot popped on this front shock, and then this guy assembled and sized up next to the stock link. And just a note here, mine was assembled or partially assembled wrong. The nut's going to go at this end, so it's gonna free thread, and this end there's a little stop built into the thread, so there's partial thread and then the stop and then the rest of this thing. So you have to put it this way to be able to screw it in and out to adjust your link, and then use that lock nut to lock it in. But I'm going to get the rest of these boots popped on, and we'll see what this guy looks like with some red color. A little shot of the finished install. Tell you what, this looks super scale. Very pumped about that. And anybody that knows Rancho knows the Rancho red is very orange, so it goes really well with the paint of this truck. So I think that's going to look really good. So next thing, I think we're moving on to tires. We've got a lot of tires and foams to move around and mount on wheels, so let's get at it. All right, getting started on the tires. So you can see I've got one of my Compass MTs demounted here, and these feel really good and sticky and soft, but these, oh my gosh, they're like floppy, gummy, sticky, these BAJA ATZs. So these are the X2SS compound, and I'm not sure what these Compass MTs are. I can look that up and put that on the screen. So you can see here I've got the two foams. So that's the stock foam from the Mickey Thompson, and then I've got the dual stage Crawler Innovations, and this one happens to be a soft, but these are the 1.55 inners, and I believe they're maybe 4.5 overall. And like I say, I think this is a 4.3. I can put that up on the screen as well, that tire size. But got the rims pulled apart. They're much easier to disassemble than you think by looking at the face. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these big guys up to the road wheels, and we'll see what they look like. All right, here we are with some nice, large, wide tires on this guy. Those look great. I think those are going to be awesome on these wheels. Definitely look a little bit better on these orange beadlocks, at least in my opinion, than the little Compass tires. So speaking of the Compass tires, we're going to get some foams out and get those stretched over the RC4WD drive deep dish wheels. So let's get some more wheel and tire action going. Here we go with the third set of wheels and tires. So we've got these stock Compass MTs, and these are going to get stretched over these deep dish 1.55 wagon wheels. So I think those are going to look good. Hopefully stretch those out, and maybe we can get a little more squish, a little more width out of them. These are the stock foams. They're pretty firm. So I've got some mediums and I've got some firm this time. These IROKS have medium and soft, so I may pull the soft out and use on these Compass. They feel like they're maybe firmer rubber than the IROKS. This might be a little softer. I'm going to mount the medium foam in there and just see how it is, see if I want to go to the firm or go to a soft. But they're the same size either way, these 3.5, 3.75. And then I've got these scale hub rotors to go ahead and get on these SSD wheels. So that's the last little wheel tire thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one of these mounted up. We can take a look at it. Man, these look 1,000 times better on these deep dish. It kind of got the bulge to the sidewall now. It's not so squared off, and man, just looks a lot more aggressive right off the bat. So here it is stacked up to that IROK ND. So really about the same size tire. It's got a harder kind of edge to it here. So it's definitely a little stiffer. So This is medium. Let's see, this is a medium. So this one's definitely softer at the sidewall with the medium. So I think I'm gonna do medium and soft in these compass, and I'm gonna put the medium and firm in these softer NDs. So we'll get those switched in and get those scale hubs on there, and we'll have 3 sets of wheels and tires to look at. All right, we've got the stalkers back on the truck, and they look great mounted on these deep dish wheels. So just totally like a different tire, but they do look awfully tiny now that we've seen what it looks like with these BAJA ATZs over here. And then these rotors are just killer. So these may have jumped up to my favorites now with that addition of the brake rotors. So there she sits. So I think we're done with foams and tires and wheels. And you can see here, I went ahead and got the final piece of the puzzle on. Last little bit of scale detail here, that tonneau cover. And I was worried about potentially that elastic being a little too tight and stressing these little hooks that are glued in, but it's got plenty of give to it. It's just tight enough to hold it. And this is a nice little texture, like a scale tonneau kind of leather texture. So that just came out really, really nice. Very happy with this. I think the challenge for me is going to be which wheels and tires do I want to throw on there to take out for its initial test run. So I think I'll leave you with some photos of the various wheels and tires mounted up, so you can kind of get an idea of what this guy looks like in all variations. Kind of judge for yourself which set you think you like the best. These deep dish really give it a nice offset. So I guess until next time, stay tuned for more on this guy, and thanks for watching.